Good morning, everybody. It is January 10th in the snowy morning in Westminster, Colorado. And I got some shit to say. I got some stuff to say. My throat chakra needs to release. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on, right? But I'm excited about it. I really am. Overall, I'm very excited that the shit is hitting the fan, and hopefully we see the change that we're wanting to see in the world. But I'm going to echo some of the messages that I've been seeing because of all the hate online and all the bullying and all the fear and all the egos and Feel Good and Lori Ladd just did pieces about this. It is unacceptable to be bullying people online. It is unacceptable to judge people, criticize people. I know you can hide behind your computer on social media, and I'm totally guilty of it, where, I'm like, I can say this because I'll never meet these people. But we have to be careful with each other right now. It's so important to love yourself, love others, shine your light. I know this is my message. I'm like a broken record. Shine your light, send out love. Most of my friends and acquaintances are light workers and healers. And, most are not judging and critical. Most of them are amazing individuals, and I love them so much. And I love all you guys out there. Um, Thanks for being supportive. Thanks for everything you're doing to raise the consciousness and send out your light and your love to everyone. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to stay off social media. I'm posting some stuff about the business and then posting some, other general statements mostly. And I would say maybe, I think all of them. I'm trying to stay with the high vibe and positivity, and every once in a while, I'm human, so I may post something that just gets to me. But sometimes I even take it down because it's not appropriate. But I'm seeing a lot of people just judging and criticizing and attacking. So, what does that say about yourself? Like, I feel like it's saying that you're not secure in who you are. You're not going to listen to or read or watch the same things that I'm watching or somebody else is watching. So, why do you expect them to have the same views that you do? They're not going to. So, be more gentle, be more caring, be more loving, and take this perspective of, you know what? Maybe they're not watching the things I'm watching. Maybe they're, and don't shove it down their throat because maybe they're not ready to see, hear, or read, see, or yeah, what you're doing and what you're watching and reading and listening to. So you have no right to be bullying people and trying to bring them over to your consciousness. So it's a low vibe. So for my light workers and my healers, that's low vibe energy. You know that. We shouldn't be judging anybody. We should be shining our light. And if we want to plant a seed, great. But I was attacked recently for something I wrote on. I was supporting Lori Ladd, and somebody wrote something, and I just said, I love you. I love you. What else are you going to say? I'm not going to fight with anybody like that because I'm not going to convince them of anything else than what they believe in. And so just keep in mind, if they're not reading, watching, or hearing what you are, then how do you expect them to believe what you believe? So, I'm just excited. I'm excited about everything that's going on. For the 30 years of my 50-year life, I have seen so many injustices, so much corruption, and, I've tried, they keep us so busy. So, like, I'm busy building a business, I'm busy with my horse, my life, my house, my boyfriend. And, we don't have a lot of time to get involved, but we need to get involved. We need to really stand up and start asking the questions. This one-way mirror where they can see everything we're doing, but we can't see anything they're doing is bullshit. We have to start looking. This is why we're in the mess that we're in with mortgages and taxes and cost of living. I want to see the American people have the American dream. So if you work, you should be able to own a house with a backyard for your kids. You shouldn't be having 3 jobs to do that. I don't believe cost of living or cost of wages should go up. Cost of living should go down because small businesses can't afford the raises in the hourly rate. They're struggling too. So if we bring the cost of living down, then we have a better quality of life. So it seems pretty simple to me, but it's not that simple, I know. Anyway, I just really want to see. I mean, when was the last time? Let me tell me. When was the last time you had to stop your car because a kid kicked a ball into the street and had to run across the street and you had to stop your car and let the kid go get his ball? Yeah, right? We're yelling at our kids to go outside. When I was a kid, my mom couldn't get us inside. She would be screaming out the door. The street lights were on. We were in trouble because we were supposed to be in by the time the street lights came on. You just don't see it anymore. I want to see life get back to that. I want people to have a savings account again and not live check to check. I want to see the kids playing in the streets. I want to see people to go on vacations because they've worked their ass off for the whole year. You need a vacation. Almost said the F word. Sorry. I'm passionate about this, you guys. I'm serious. We need a better American dream. This is ridiculous already. Stress is the number one cause of illness and disease. We're all stressed out. It's just not fair. The American dream is what I was talking about. People need to have something that they can work for and not just working to pay their taxes and to pay their mortgage and their car payment and their insurance and all that stuff. They need to be able to have a savings account too because they're working. And you know what? They should be rewarded for working. I've been working since I was 14. And I've lost everything 3 times, and I just keep getting back up and starting over again because I know that the American dream can be had. Okay, so and let me go back to the corruption and stuff because for 30 years of my life I've been seeing corruption. When I was 17 years old, I worked for a doctor's office, and it's kind of funny how I see everything came full circle with me with the medical. I didn't see it when I was 17, but I worked for this clinic. And the doctors were prescribing sorry, I'll go back to the pain pills. They were prescribing diet pills. And my boyfriend's grandmother went there, and I looked at her chart, and in 20 years she'd been on these diet pills. She had gained 40 pounds. What the F, right? So I went to one of the doctors. There were 3 doctors there. And I said, how come, she's been on your diet program for 20 years and she's gained 40 pounds. It doesn't make sense to me. And he said, well, she just says it makes her feel so good and it helps her do her housework. So when I looked into it, they were actually prescribing speed to all these mostly older women. So their diet was speed. And first of all, I didn't think that should be legal. They're drug pushers. And so I've been seeing this since I was 17. Some people would come to the window, and there was a federal law, I think it's federal law, where you can't get your pain pills. If you have a 30-day supply, you can't come back in 15 days and get another 30-day supply. So I was turning people down at the window. 17 years old. I'm like, you can't have your pain pills. It's too early. I got fired. Because I stood up for what I thought was right and what I knew was right. And when we stand up for what we know, and what we think is right, sometimes we get shot down, we get fired, we get criticized. But if you know who you are and you know that you're coming from a heart space and you're doing this to help people and not to hurt anybody, there's nothing wrong with standing up for what you believe in. Be strong enough in who you are, and so that you can stand in your own space and say, okay, I'm going to say this, and I know I'm probably going to get criticized, but it's okay because you're coming from a heart space. So send out your love, send out your light, do all that great stuff. Yeah, I did get fired from that job. I've been fired a lot because I stand up for it's okay, I'm used to it. Anyway, they eventually stopped taking prescriptions. The pharmacies stopped taking prescriptions from this one doctor because people were getting those pain pills and then selling them on the streets. So that corruption I saw. Then when I was 20 something years old, I had gotten divorced, and I didn't want to move back home with my parents. I went to live with them for a few months, and then I moved back out again. So I left when I was 17. And so I got into this apartment where I sublet it from a guy, and it was a very corrupt management company. And so I got to see it again. So here I'm like of integrity. I signed a sublease. I finished out my sublease. My brother and my dad helped me move out. And so, gosh, it was almost 30 years ago. So you remember the big cable boxes that they used to give you when you got cable? It wasn't like just a flip of a switch, when you have your modem and you get your service. There was a big cable box. And so I left it behind, and I can still remember it sitting by the wall, where the TV was. And I remember the door. It's so weird how I can remember how detailed that I remember this. So they took me to court and they said, you owe us $2,500. I maybe made $18,000 a year. And they're like, you owe us $2,500 for the cable box because you took it. I had my brother and my dad sign a paper, and I represented myself in court. I remember that on the door, this is so funny how I remember this so much in so much detail. Excuse me. On the door, it said, no shorts in the courtroom. The property manager was in there with shorts on. He's like, hey, judge, what's going on? Like, they just had dinner last night, right? And I knew I was in trouble at that point, even though I was young, naive, and gullible. And I still am to this day. I still want to trust everybody. I still want to believe everybody's good. I was like, I'm in trouble because he knows the judge. So I knew enough to know that. So, of course, the court case ends. I lose. And I told them, I said, fine, I'll pay you $5 a month. And they're like, no, not acceptable. So I ended up paying $50 a month for $2,500. That's a lot of years that I had to pay this off. And anyway, so I was leaving the courtroom, and the bailiff, he knew, and I think he felt so bad for me because he was like, I'm so sorry when I left. And he even touched my back and, kind of ushered me out. And it was like, I'm just so sorry. And so, that he has seen a lot of this, shit and in this corruption. But you know what? He had to have a job and, feeding his family and stuff like that. Some of us can walk away from these jobs. And I do know people who have seen the corruption and walked away from their job, and you know who you are. And they're still fighting the system. And so, more power to them. So anyway, that was one of the stories. So anyway, now my next topic, because I made notes. I just want to tell you guys, you need to shine your light and send the love. So we need to send the love to the government. We need to send the love. Love them or hate them, Biden, send love. Love them or hate them, Trump, send love. And if you find that it's hard for you to send love to somebody you hate, think about it. Think about what trauma or what you need to work on that you can't send love to another human being. I just want you to think about that, because I can send love to Trump and Biden, and I'm hoping, like the Grinch movie, maybe their heart will grow. So the little heart, and it will grow, and they'll do the right thing. Whoever is in power, they need to do the right thing. And so hopefully you guys agree with me. And if you don't, I love you. And I have my opinion, and you have yours based on what I read, what I watch, and what I listen to. So, and I'm happy. I even asked my sister the other day, I was like, can you send me some stuff that's really influenced you and your husband so that I can take a look at that? Because I want to know, like, why do they think the way they think? And so don't bombard me with all the stuff, because if there's something super influential and super factual you want to share with me, go ahead and share it. I want to see all aspects. I listen to channelers. I listen to healers. I listen to government people. I listen to non-government people. And I'm trying to gather all that information and make my own decision based on my life experiences. And everybody that even has the same information is going to draw a different conclusion based on their life experiences, right? So that's what I want to share with you about that. And so just shine your light, send love. Let's stay high vibe. Let's don't drop to low vibe. Let's don't criticize, bully, judge people. You can hide behind your computer and do this. You can hide behind your phone and do this, but let's not do that, because that's just wrong. That's not being of a loving, high vibe individual. So, just think about that, okay? Because it's, people are really stressed right now, and you don't know what people have on their shoulders. My brother and my sister told me stories of things that they have on their shoulders that I had no idea, And so you don't know what people have on their shoulders right now, what they're dealing with. So have a little compassion, have a little empathy. My light workers and my healers, you got this, but the people who are low vibing and criticizing and everything, you want to stay away from their energy because it's just not a good place right now. We have enough negativity in this world. Love heals all. And then I'm going to do a little promotion right now. We have the frequency of love and the wellness tracks that we have created from a high heart space, from a very unconditional loving space. And we need more of that in the airwaves. So if you have it, play it, put that out into the airwaves, put it out there, to help you relax, to help you meditate, to help you heal. The wellness tracks and the love track has instructions on how to use each track and what the color intentions were, what the organs are that are affected by it, what the instruments that are used, what sound waves or sound bubbles of instruments we used. It's brilliant. It's just really fun. It's really calming. It's really high vibe and really loving. And that's really why I wrote the book too, is that we need to create that space where we're always in that great bubble as much as we can. Obviously can't live in this bubble of love and healing and high vibe all the time. But get back up there. If you drop down, recognize it and get back up there. But that's why I wrote the book, so we can be discerning. We can learn how to heal our own bodies. We can learn what colors to surround ourselves in. And like my house this is a yellow room, which, it's the solar plexus chakra. And this is my office, and I have blues and calming colors in the living room when I go relax. I have greens, very healing neutral color in the kitchens, and I have purple for relaxation in my bedroom. So it transitions through my house. I have a little house, but it's awesome. I love my little cocoon, my little nest. It's so awesome. And it just made it so comfortable for me. It might not be for everybody. Some people might come in and it's too much color. I can't imagine too much color, but you never know. So, and then, when I built the Harmonic Egg business, I want to say this too, and then I'll let you guys go because we have our center owner call in 20 minutes. We're going to talk about marketing and attracting your soul clients. So I have a guest speaker today for all my center owners. I'm so excited. Anyway, so I built the Harmonic Egg business, not as a franchise, not as a competitive model, not as the patriarchal model. I built it as a family, my family of egg owners. I want to support my entire family. It's matriarchal business model. It's the divine feminine. And yes, men own the eggs too. It is the cooperative model. It's not a franchise. I know my center owners are going to work their asses off because I know how much I have worked my ass off. I've been self-employed since 1998. So I was 28 years old, 27 going on 28, going on 50 really. I was going on 50 since I was like 15. So anyway, I built this model because I want to be the change that I want to see in the world. I want to build this model and I want others to see how successful it is and how people are attracted to it because it comes from the heart. It comes from a space of love and healing and helping and being of service. And I think you can't go wrong when you're doing something like that. You don't need to be in greed and competition. There's enough for everybody. We live in so much abundance. It's just, there's enough for everybody. So anyway, messages, be kinder to others, shine your light, send out love to the airwaves, learn to be discerning about who you're sharing your energy with. And, think about that business model. That business model could be where we're going in the future. All right. I love you all. Bye.